We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good for you.
Welcome to Storytime Cooks, where we learn about food through books. Today we're reading Because Amelia Smiled by David Ezra Stein, and this is published by Candlewick Press. This is a fun story because it lets us think about how important it is just for even that one smile we might give to someone each day. Because Amelia smiled coming down the street, and there she is. She's looking very happy. She's out taking a walk. That might be something we would want to do to get some exercise. Go out and take a walk. Because Amelia smiled, Mrs. Higgins smiled too. Because when we see someone else smile, it makes us smile. Mrs. Higgins thought of her grandson Lionel in Mexico and baked some cookies to send to him. Because Mrs. Higgins baked cookies, Lionel ate one of the cookies. He decided to share the rest of the cookies with his class. Lionel was a teacher, and he took those cookies that his grandma made to school. I bet that made his whole class smile. Lionel taught them an English song about cookies, and because Lionel taught his class a song, they're all looking like they're having so much fun. One of his students, kickboxer Sanicia Gopez, decided she would become a teacher too. She had her cousin record her in the plaza and put the video online. So one thing just leads to another. Zesta Crump and her ballet club in England saw the video and decided to add some new moves to their Goodwill recital. So that video made the kids in the dance class happy. And in Israel, Coez Gluberman, age 4, who was in the audience, decided he liked dancing too. At bedtime, he danced his brother Ichabod to sleep. So he's dancing around with his little brother. Because Cotes just danced him to sleep, Ichabod slept all night through. I bet that made some other people happy. Well, they lived in an apartment, and the lady who lived next door, Betty, she was a glamorous Roomba queen, got a great night's sleep. She woke up in a good mood and took the whole band to get their hair done in Paris. Boy, that's exciting. And they're all getting their hair done. I bet that made them happy. The band felt so fancy, they gave a free show. On the barge below, Gregor, the ex-clown, listened inside. Their love song reminded him of his old flame, the amazing Phyllis, who was another clown, who lived in Italy. Or maybe she was an acrobat person. That sounds like an acrobat's name. The next morning, he bought a bouquet of flowers to send to her with a note that said, "Phyllis, after all these years, will you marry me?" I bet that's going to make Phyllis happy. And she was so happy, she threw roses from a high wire. She was a trapeze person. She was caught on film by a TV crew that was doing a story on stray cats. There's Phyllis. She has got a big smile. Back in New York City, Lydia saw Phyllis on TV while making pizza. So she's smiling, and I bet the people that she's serving pizza to are smiling. And on the way home, she began a scarf with roses. Remember, she saw those roses. For her niece, she sat across from the pigeon man, and he watched her and remembered his dear old grandma who loved to knit. So that made him smile. When he got back to his rooftop and let his pigeons out, he wondered if maybe somehow, wherever Grandma was, she could see them. Because Pigeon Man let his birds out, Amelia saw them. And remember, Amelia is the one who smiled at the very beginning. So her smile went all the way around the world and came back to her. So I would encourage all of us just to try smiling a little bit more each day. And today we made a smiley face. We took an English muffin and we decorated it just with things that we had. So we grated up some carrots and made some pretty orange hair. We used a string cheese for his mouth and a cucumber for his nose, Cheerios for his eyes with some raisins for his pupils. But you could decorate your smiley face any way that you would like to. And we hope while you're decorating and having some fun, that would make you smile too. So when we think about where all these foods would go on my plate, our English muffin would go in the grain group, and we use some vegetables and we use some fruit. We put some peanut butter on it, so that would go in the protein group. So we have something, our dairy would be our cheese. We have something from the whole plate on our smiley face. So we hope that you will smile some this week and come back again next week and join us for another segment of Storytime Cooks, where we continue to learn about food through books.
We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods